Good evening, one and all, to our fourth instalment here at Sao Paulo, Brazil. This is Tier 4 around the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. I think I've probably pronounced that wrong, but if in the meantime, after the stream, I'll probably have a word with our resident national person, Ant, of how to pronounce it. But in the meantime, I am your lead commentator for Tier 4 this evening, BitW365, also known as Carl. And alongside me tonight, yet again, just like last week for Tier 3, it is Tier 1's Kaiser Soze, also known as Steve Jarman. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening to you. How's it going? How's your evening? And are you looking forward to this potentially wet race?
Well, we don't know if it's going to be wet or not. We have had plenty of wet races so far this week because we had some wet in Tier 2. We had some rain in Tier 1 and we briefly had some rain towards the end of Tier 3. So it's a possibility that we could get rain towards at any point in Tier 4 to complete the set. We are going to be going round for an onboard lap with Alpine's very own GXD. So he'll be the first one to put a provisional time on the board, and we'll go on board with the Alpine driver as he comes towards the end of his installation lap. DRS and ERS in use, more than likely down to turn 1. Braking hard for the first of the center S's, which is made up of turn 1, 2, and then through turn 3 into another DRS zone. Some more battery being used down this straight, I believe, and then heavy braking for turn 4. Careful of track limits on exit. Then we've got turn 5. Then we're heading up the hill to turns 6, which is slightly off camber and can easily spin the rear round, and then 7 and 8 through the middle sector where you need a bit of downforce to go through these slow tight corners. Definitely looks very smooth by GXD at the on this lap around. So into the final couple corners. Turns 13, and then we have 14 and 15 through the slight banking, taking the shortest route to the line, and it's a 109.378 for GXD, which is a decent banker lap and a good target time for everybody else.
Yeah, that's not that bad going for the opening lap of the evening.
Well, I believe pole in tier... we've got a 108.3 from Isaac. So already into the 108, it's almost 109. That's exactly a second quicker than GXD.
1 second precisely.
Yeah, a 108.378, a 109.378. So take a picture because you won't be able to see that even if you tried. So let's find... we've got Connor coming through towards the end of Sector 2 into Sector 3 in the Williams. Williams leading the Constructors' Championship still. They've had a quite strong start to the season.
Yeah, they've got about a 21-point lead at the moment, I think, over the Alpine.
109.4 for Connor puts him third. Just ahead of Brindle, Heavy, Mav, Blurred Magic and Maverick.
Blurred Magic, I think, is on a lap at the moment. I'm just waiting for his second sector time.
Sternberg was coming to the end of his lap, but he was invalidated. Let's catch up with the current championship leader and the second of the two Williamses. It's Josh Boy as he's coming through the middle sector. He currently leads the championship on 124 points, 24 points ahead of his fellow rival GXD, who's on 100 points. So this stage in the championship, with Josh Boy almost having a win over GXD in the championship, is a nice handy buffer to have, as he's going to come to the line to set his first time of the evening, and it's a 109.135. Puts him on that second row with GXD, as where we had Delta going into second behind Isaac with a 8.7. So championship leader Josh Boy third at the very moment. We'll drop down to Sternberg, who's coming to the end of his run after invalidating the last, and he puts it into P9 just above Lil with a 109.976. We have a few higher tier drivers in. I think we only have two, I believe, which is GTS in the Red Bull and our very own league creator and head honcho Martin Hill single track in the Alpine. So they're the only two higher tier drivers to worry about this evening.
Sorry, I was just on board with Delta again then. He's just come out of the centre S's and looked like he went a little bit wide on the curb, but he managed to get away with it. But I don't know if he's backed out or not.
He looks like he has backed out of it, because his lights were flashing on the rear wing. So Catch Geke comes to the line, just going to a 10.6, puts Geke into 11th. So the two McLarens so far in 11th and 13th. It is still Isaac on provisional pole with that 108.3, as he's on a warm-up lap now with 11 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock. Let's have a jump to the Mercedes of Owen, as he's coming to the end of Sector 1. Teammates Sternberg currently sat P9 at the moment, so we'll follow the Mercedes round on this lap as he's coming up the hill to turn 6. Looks nice and planted. I have from past races round here believe you don't want with this game you want the low wings, because for some reason everyone runs the low wing setup, but you can't afford to go too low round here, because you need at least some downforce for that tight middle sector, because that middle sector can make or break a lap time, because it's the part where you can make mistakes, as Owen 112.2 for his opening lap.
Yeah, I must admit, I don't think it was this version, but last year's game, I remember doing a time trial or something on this track, and I kept reducing the wing, trying to get more speed, and I just couldn't seem to find it. And then I checked a load of other setups, and their wings were incredibly high in comparison to what I managed to drop mine down to. So I started raising them up again, and because I got the extra grip around the corners of the Sector 2, essentially, it was, times just started dropping off.
Yeah, Isaac improves to an 8.359, just having a look in the YouTube chat. And Martin Hills from the Alpine garage has been a bit of a party pooper. He said it's all dry.
Well, yeah, I must admit there's not a cloud in the sky at the moment, is there?
It's bright sunshine in qualifying at the moment.
This will be the first one this week, though, won't it? I believe.
Tier 3 had some bright sunshine during their qualifying session, so at least 2 qualifying sessions have had the sun out and about. So we'll follow Abu, who's done a 20.8, so he must have made a mistake and probably not got enough fuel to go again. We'll catch up with one of the Ferraris, Brindle, currently 6th on a 9.5.
I'm on
Got
with Connor at the moment. He's just gone 2.5 temps up out of sector 1.
yeah.
Whereas that
Always
put him, puts
Brindle's
him
made a
potentially third.
slight mistake in the middle sector, so it's completely backed off. So we'll jump to Connor, who's
He's got traffic.
that's I believe that's the Sauber of Abu. So I wonder if Abu has just kind of blocked Connor on a flying lap. We didn't see one Ferrari have a run, so we'll follow the other Ferrari of Little as she starts another flying lap as she heads down towards turn 4, the RS Open on that Ferrari.
Okay, Connor made just a little bit of time there. He might have lost some, but he's managed. Well, he's gotten back down to 5th now, but he managed to put himself in 4th briefly.
It is very close between 2nd, 3rd and 4th, all on 108.7s. You got Delta 108.730, 4,000th back is Sternberg on an 8.734, and then we've got Josh Boy a few, yeah, and then Josh Boy's a few thousandths back on Sternberg with an 8.756 as Lil, as she comes to the line, improves to P5. So she puts it P5 ahead of her teammate by quite a margin. She sets a 109.244. So we have 1, 2, 3 different power units in that top 5 with the Red Bull powertrain in that RB of Isaac, the Mercedes powered cars of Delta, Sternberg and Josh Boy, Aston Martin, Mercedes and Williams, and then we have Lil who's popped it into P5 in that Ferrari powered Ferrari. Question is, how long will she stay there for, with the likes of GXD now coming round, who's 4 tenths up.
It's a blinding sector 2. Barely half a tenth before that. Sector 1.
Yeah, as GXD comes to the line, and it's an 8.9. He goes P5, just pipping Lil. So Lil's now dropped down to P6. See how Heavy T is getting on in the middle sector in the second Racing Bull. Teammate Isaac still on that provisional pole spot. He hasn't been dropped once at all this race, or should I say qualifying session.
109.2, just put himself into 7th up from
he's a fraction behind his teammate, so the Ferrari's 6th and 7th. We're going to carry on following Heavy T as he's coming to
championship at the moment as well.
Yeah, as Heavy T goes P5 now with an 8.789. So 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers in the 8.7. So it is very tight amongst the top. As we'll catch up with Fire J's just gone into the pits.
Just trying to see who's far around the track. Mans hasn't actually done a lap yet by the looks of it. Is Mans reserving this evening?
Man, I think is a full-time driver at Red Bull.
Mans currently 5th in the championship, yeah, so...
Yeah, it's GTS who's reserving for Aston Martin.
Mans is in the Red Bull, see, they always leave it to the last minute to get out on their flying lap, Red Bull.
You're not wrong, so we're going to follow Man on his, what might be his one and only run of this qualifying session. We've got 3 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock from the 18 that we started with.
Pretty clean round the centre S's, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not too greedy on the curbs.
17.8 for that first split. His teammate GTS is a higher tier driver, so expect the Alpine and Red Bulls of single track and GTS to start at the back. Looks nice and tidy by Mans for saying this is his first attempt, and he's sat out most of the session till now. It's a big...
This late at this part in the lap, my heart would be beating out of my chest.
Yeah. It's a big gamble going out late. Because if you make a mistake, there's not much chance to go again. As he goes P11 with a 9.8. Brilliant stuff by man, putting the Red Bull just outside the top 10. Now we've got...
a feeling could have given it another run or two and maybe got in the top 10 with a time like that.
Yeah, he's got time to cool down and probably go again if he's got enough fuel. As we jump to Connor, who's on his very last attempt. Just coming through turns 1 and 2. He'll be hoping to get close to his teammate to be able to help Josh Boy as a team to continue the strong start to the season at Williams. So he comes up the hill through turn 6 and 7. Oh, goes over the white line, but the track's not done him, so he's got away with one.
Delta was on his last lap. He's just lost the rear end coming into 5 or 6.
The Aston Martin, the green marker off track in that middle sector.
That's unfortunate.
Connor now.
His previous lap.
Yeah, Connor coming to the line now. Oh, he's bailed on his lap, so that's it for Connor. So we'll jump to...
Just about to come over.
Yeah. Goes P3 in the Alpine.
Nice.
There's a lot of cars coming towards the end of their laps now. We've got 47 seconds left on the clock, so a lot of drivers will be on their very last runs. Currently got Josh Boy.
Denberg's just put himself up in 5th, but then unfortunately bit of a moment coming out of...
Both Williams have bailed on their last run, so even Josh Boy's bailed out on his last lap. Isaac's just crossed the line with a few seconds to spare.
We've got an Alpine in 3rd at the moment. And,
yeah, GXD. Connor in the pit lane. So Josh Boy is done. He's in the pits with 5 seconds left. Those in the pits have pretty much done their qualifying. Checker flag out. We're going to stay with Isaac. He's got a Ferrari. I hope the Ferrari didn't block Isaac too much there. I believe Isaac is not. Yeah, I believe he's backed out of it. Yeah. I don't think Isaac's going to be too happy with that one. But will it be enough? And I believe it will be enough for Isaac to keep pole. So despite that moment,
Jeff's just jumped his teammate and man at the same time.
Owen to the line. Owen improves to 13th. Man's not on a lap.
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, that is it. So despite getting caught up with the Ferrari on his last attempt, Isaac will take pole in Sao Paulo at Interlagos. And it'll be the championship leader, Josh Boy, on that front row alongside him. So we'll run through the qualifying positions once they're all fully up for us to go through. I can see we've got 14 people currently watching Tier 4 at this moment. Nice to see you all tuning in for this one.
Oh, indeed. 6 likes for 14 people. Let's get some more likes on there, ladies and gentlemen. That'd be very nice.
1 like off of 50%. Right, so here is your starting grid for the Tier 4 Brazilian Grand Prix. Isaac is on pole, Josh Boy 2nd, GXD 3rd, Delta 4th, Sternberg 5th, Heavy T 6th, Lil 7th, Brindle 8th, Connor 9th, and Scottish Mav rounds out the top 10. Geke 11th, Man 12th, It's Owen 13th, Fire J 14th, Maverick 15th, Blurred Magic 16th, Abu 17th, and the last of the Tier 4 runners, and then we have Single Track and GTS 18th and 19th as their higher tier drivers. So unfortunately, we already know the race is going to be dry, thanks to Martin letting us know. So sadly, we have got a dry race, which is lucky for Tier 4 because wet races can turn into chaos, and that's not negativity towards Tier 4. I'm just saying in general, we tend to have chaotic races in the wet. But in the meantime, some stuff about Interlagos. The track is 15 miles southwest of central Sao Paulo, so we're not very far from the centre of the city. 36 laps around here for 50%, which is a total race length of 95.032, so it's a relatively short lap because it's 2.677 miles, one of the shortest on the calendar. 15 corners make up this historical track. We have 10 to the left and 5 to the right. It is a anti-clockwise circuit, so expect the left-hand side of the car to get most of the load on because they'll be leaning quite a lot on that left side of the car. Tyre deg round here is quite high due to the high speed natures of some of the corners. Yes, you get a bit of reprieve in that middle sector, but the first and third sectors predominantly high speed. Two DRS zones. You've got the DRS zone from turns 15 to turn 1, and then you've got the DRS from out of turn 3 down to turn 4. Two separate detection points, so even if you don't get DRS going down to turn 1, as long as you get a good tow and get close enough, you can get DRS down towards turn 4. But it's mainly single file through the middle sector. It may sound like an easy track to overtake out, but it's not as easy as it's made out to be, because the only real overtaking points we've got is down towards turn 1 and possibly turn 4, so only 2 key overtaking points round this circuit.
I quite like a move into 6, to be honest.
Oh, you would, ballsy.
That's if you can get up the inside there, as long as you can get it stopped, it's a great place, because then that round 7, round the outside, you got the perfect line going into 8.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's taking a risk, but like I say, the two main overtaking spots at Brazil is turn 1 and turn 4, because even if you're not close enough down into turn 1, as long as you keep it tight to the car in front and get DRS down towards turn 4.
Yeah, no, it's a nice one to do. It's definitely a nice one to do. But again, I want to try and make sure I got it done before I get into turn 4.
Yeah, Martin Hill's popping up in the YouTube chat again. and he's very true on this. It's very tricky for a setup point of view as well, especially for tyre wear, because those rears tend to get super hot towards the later stages of a stint, as Martin has mentioned in the YouTube chat. So yeah, you can one stop around here, but you got to really nurse the tyres towards the latter stages of that stint, because as Martin said, those rears tend to get hot towards the end of the stint, so it gets a lot harder to keep that rear in check, especially in that middle sector. Tend to see quite a few cars losing it right through there, especially up the hill at turn 6, because of it being slightly off camber as well. Because we know how easy it is to get it wrong there, because in real life on formation lap, Charles Leclerc ended up putting it into the wall on that particular corner on formation. So it just shows you that even on formation lap, drivers can get it wrong.
Yeah, he was stupid once again.
Luckily for us, on formation laps, we have damage off in the video game. So if you make it, if you go wrong on your formation lap, your car will be fine. And speaking of formation laps, we're just about to go on for that right now. So Isaac will be getting us underway for this parade lap. So we'll get a quick look at what tyres people have decided to start on. Majority of the tier 4s have gone for the mediums. We've got Lil, Man and Maverick on the hards, and then towards the back are 2 higher tier reserves. Single track has gone soft and GTS has gone hard. Those 2 will be pitting at the end of the first lap by the higher tier rules. But 90% of the grid have gone for the medium tyres, as the 2 Saubers have come together on the formation and have now been put to the grid, and they've got to sit there now and wait for everyone to come round and take the position. So I wonder what happened there, because
maybe they were excuse me, maybe they were racing each other just to get their tyres warm. So strange.
Martin's not in a good one, because for some reason it's put him on softs, and as the tier rules are, softs are not allowed for higher tier drivers. But there is a question around it, because obviously you've got pits at the end of lap 1, so I don't think you really get much of a benefit with starting on the softs for the very first lap. I know it's not allowed, but it does make you think, because it's a lap 1 pit stop for the higher tier drivers, that maybe you could get away with having a soft for only at the start and nothing else, probably. I don't know. So we're waiting for the lights now to get this race underway. We've got the 5 red lights to come. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, and there is 5. And it's go, go, go at Interlagos, and it's a brilliant start by GXD, almost making it 3 wide up front. Josh Boy gets the lead into turn 1, but goes super deep. Careful not to get a track penalty there. He's had to really back off when rejoining. So Isaac, despite the bogged down start, holds on to the lead with GXD and Delta. We have a Mercedes going super deep into 4, and that was Sternberg getting very deep through 4, which has allowed Josh Boy back through, so he's on a recovery drive back to where he was, as Heavy T having a little look at the Mercedes in this middle sector. Get rid of the tyres, although we'll get the positions up, as we can keep an eye on those throughout these opening few laps. So Isaac holds position on this opening lap. GXD is second, Delta is up to third, Josh Boy went deep into turn 1 and had to drop back and be careful with rejoining, so he's dropped down, but he made a position back, so he's down to 4th. Sternberg and Heavy T, yeah, has held position. The two Ferraris are line astern with Lil and Brindle 7th and 8th. Man is improved. Oh, we've got a car sideways at turn 1, and that's, believe it was the Haas of Scottish Mav he's got going again, but that Haas was sideways going into turn 1. It was so bizarre, but as we're going through, Man up has improved, so's Geke. Connor's dropped a few places, and Connor's got some damage on that left-hand side of that front wing, so that's not going to be nice for Connor at this stage, as the two high tiers are just about to come out of the pits. We'll jump to the front as we have GXD, who is now leading ahead of Isaac, and now Delta and Isaac in a scrup for 2nd and 3rd. Isaac will have DRS off of GXD down towards turn 1, but 9/10 is too far back, I believe, to make any headway, so he'll want to use DRS, get as close as he can through the centre S, and then get right up behind the Alpine to have a look into 4, but he's too far back still.
Brindle's just got the move done on Lil.
Yeah, Ferraris have switched over, as you say. Brindle now ahead of Lil, but the Ferrari's doing well, 7th and 8th, as Geke has gone down the inside of the Red Bull of Man, so Geke up to P9, Man down to P10. Top 6 in a little train of their own, with the Ferraris just further back. So having a look, all the top.
Top 3, did you just sit comfy for a little while, preserve your tyres?
Yeah.
Or just try and make a move and cut loose?
The advantage that GXD has got with being at the front of the train is he's got clean air, whereas the likes of Isaac, Delta, Josh Boy, Sternberg and Heavy T, they're all getting dirty air off each other, and obviously the further back you are in the train, the more dirty air you are getting. So, and you don't want to be following too close in the dirty air, because it can affect the tyres a little bit, and also you can see how easy it isn't to overtake around here, especially when you're stuck in a DRS train, because GXD controlling the pace very smoothly out front, as GTS 11.6 sets the fastest lap. As Delta getting right underneath the diffuser of Isaac in this middle sector. The Aston Martin almost pushing the Racing Bull through this middle part of the lap.
But he's getting impatient. He knows he's faster through that sector, and he's just making his presence known.
By the looks of it, then, I believe Delta's got a higher downforce setup than Isaac, if he's getting right underneath the Racing Bull in that middle sector. 5/10 separating the front two, so I don't think Isaac's going to be close enough to make a move into turn 1. So GXD controlling the pace, very well controlled in these early stages, lap 5 of 36. Although Isaac is hooked up right underneath the Alpine, super defensive for GXD, jolted to the inside, but then retook the racing line for the corner. It's like Isaac didn't even think about going for the move, forced the defensive move from GXD, but then didn't go for anything in the meantime. Delta, you can see right underneath the Racing Bull. Oh, he has a look. Good thing that, and I believe that is Delta up into 2nd ahead of Isaac in that middle sector. So it is Alpine, Aston Martin, Racing Bull 1, 2 and 3. So I believe Isaac is definitely running a lower drag setup if he's getting overtaken in that middle sector. But now it's Delta to start closing in on race leader GXD. Josh Boy's gone deep again into turn 1. GXD with 3 seconds.
Oh no, sorry, you was on board with Josh then. I thought he was going to just make that move. It was looking like it was going to stick.
He went very deep.
Yeah, but on board it looked like he was just turning straight round the outside of him. I was like, what?
Yeah. As Delta is all over the back of GXC. So Delta with what must be a higher setup, which will probably help him when the work it's... Oh, we've got a full safety car.
Oh, what's happened?
Just having a look. I can't see anyone stationary on the track.
No.
And we've got no retirement so far. Here's a question for you, Steve. It's lap 6. It's a full safety car. You're on mediums. Would you pit for a set of hards on this lap? With it being a safety car?
I probably would, because I'd probably bottle it, but there's a part of me that thinks something normally goes a bit pear-shaped sometimes after the safety car restart.
GXD's in.
You'll get another few laps in. So, but it's a long race and it's a highway track.
Yeah, there's a few drivers have come in. The Ferraris have had to split strategy without stacking up, so Lil will go through into second. So it is Delta followed by Lil as she has had to stay out. As her teammate got priority, Brindle pitting, leaving Lil to have to stay out. Man has also stayed out. And it looks like Maverick has as well. So a big selection of cars have come in for the stop under the safety car, because they don't lose any time whatsoever. Try and have a look at other drivers that have stayed out. I believe Abu stayed out as well. Connor stayed out because he pitted relatively early for a new front wing and is more than likely on the hard tyres already. So a few drivers have decided to stay out on the medium tyres. Unfortunate for Lil, because she was so close to a teammate.
Yeah.
It was either box behind your teammate and lose more time having to double stack, or just stay out. Although she is on the hard tyre, so staying out is not too bad for saying she is on the hard tyre, so she will have a nice advantage over Delta, as Fire J has got a drive-through penalty for falling too far back.
That's probably glitch.
The one thing
that's... And then it goes and it comes back.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't like about the game, is it starts counting you down as soon as you're within 10 car lengths. I think it shouldn't really do that until I know you're already on the back of the pack, and obviously if you fall out of 10 car lengths, that's when you start getting the warning pop up about being too far back. But you haven't really caught the train up as such, so it's
I don't know what track it was, but one of the last few ones we were on, exactly that happening to me. I was in the field near the back, sort of all spread out. Safety car was out, and as I'm trying to catch the pack, I'm getting told to catch the pack, otherwise I face a penalty. And I'm like, well, hold on a minute, I'm still working my way around the track.
Well, when catching the safety car, I can tell you from past experience this week, trying to control the Delta through that middle sector is absolutely disgusting, because it just plummets. Because I ended up catching Ben out because I was having to back off so much to allow the Delta to build up that yeah, but either way, we're just about to go racing again, so Delta will take command.
Gone.
As he's gone. little bit slow, and she's going to be under pressure from Man, but GXD already through into third place. Brilliant move from the Alpine up into third place, using the fresh hard tyres to his advantage, and he's already looking to challenge Lil for second. How much of defence is she going to put up? Not close enough to make a move into turn 4, but Lil goes a bit deep, and she's under pressure from GXD as GXD slips on through turn 5. So that's GXD gone from 4th to 2nd in 5 corners. So GXD with a nice smooth start. Delta doing what he needs to do, get away early. We have a yellow flag for Connor. He's dropped all the way down to 18th. Fighting away with Abu. There's no damage on that Williams. Oh, but there is now, as he got such a better drive and tried to go underneath the Sauber, but the two cars ended up making contact. So it's probably going to be another trip to the pits for Connor, as he's missing an end plate on the right hand side. So not the best of races so far for Connor. Despite being on older mediums, Delta's got a nice buffer to GXD of 1.2 seconds out front, as we have Josh Boyd trying to catch up to the back of Man, who, just like Lil, has stayed out because of being on the harder tyre. So those two in particular can go a lot longer, but the question is, how much longer is Delta going to go? But despite the difference in tyre, Delta on mediums, GXD on brand new hards, as Connor's got 3 seconds. The gap is being controlled well, so Delta definitely benefiting from what I can guess a higher downforce setup, which will definitely help when the tyre wear kicks in, because it'll help the car stay more stable because you got more controllers. Lil's gone backwards. What's happened to her? She's lost a few places and is forward now behind her teammate. But there's no damage on the Ferrari as she makes the move back through on a teammate. A lock-up for Sternberg and the Mercedes. Super defensive against Man. Coming up to the hill. To the front as the gap is down to 1.2, so the gap seems to plummet between Delta and GXD, but the gap is coming down because I believe those medium tyres are really struggling on that Aston Martin.
Yeah, 10 laps in now. The midfield at the moment, probably 8th to 10th at the minute, are having a nice little battle. They're all right on each other's gearboxes.
Yeah, GXD.
About the tyres, heavy T, sorry. Real wobble coming out of one of the last corners there up the hill.
Yeah, well, actually talking about heavy T, GXD has just taken the lead into turn 1 with DRS on Delta. So the question is, how much longer is Delta going to take those? As Man's gone, that's at turn 2, and here's another safety car, so I believe we'll definitely see Delta coming in now to put on some hard tyres. But Man is our first retirement, and he has gone at turn 2. So we are down to 18 runners from the 19 we started with, and we're on lap 12 of 36. And we have GXD, who has recently put the hard tyres on under safety car, now leads with Delta second, who has to pit, I believe, under this safety car. He's got to pit. He's been on those mediums since the start of this race, and I don't think he's going to get much more laps out of them, and especially with drivers behind him on hard tyres, which will now be starting to switch on. Yeah. He's got no choice but to pit, but he's done well to take the medium tyres this long, because you can take them this long, but you don't want to take them any longer than 12 laps. So will we see the Aston Martin dive in? Yes, he does. Oh, gets a bit
Did he get
slidey
it
braking
slow?
for the pit lane. He's got back end started to step out, giving a little wiggle for the pit
Yeah.
lane line. So we wait for GXD to pick up the safety car, who is
Oh, it's
waiting.
just vanished completely
Brindle
from the
3 seconds, but GXD has picked the safety car up. The safety car sensibly waiting on the entry of turn 4 on the inside, staying offline so cars can overtake without any problem. My least favourite safety car of the two for this week for round Brazil, the red Mercedes. I'm more partial for the green Aston Martin, me, because I prefer Aston Martin over Mercedes, but beggars can't be choosers.
The Aston is a nice colour. It's a nice livery car, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not a bad shade of green. Obviously, it's Aston's very own version of British Racing Green, because obviously many car manufacturers, especially British ones, would have different variants of their version of British Racing Green. So obviously Aston Martin in the British Racing Green. So we got our second safety car that came out on lap 12 for a retirement of a man in the Red Bull at turn 2. So we're now on to lap 14 of 36.
Yeah, I mean the top 3 now. They could go to the end, I guess, but they're going to be really struggling the last 5 or 10 laps.
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to the two Ferraris of Lil and Brindle in fourth and fifth. Get me teeth in. They've both kept themselves out of trouble, and yes, they've been pretty much nose to tail to each other, but the fact that they're both together and now they find themselves in that position is nice to see, because you like to see a team doing well, and looking at it at the moment, it's definitely Ferrari that are doing the better job as a duo.
Yeah, I think what are they at the moment? 27 points they are behind, excuse me, Alpine in the constructors at the moment.
Yeah, Ferrari on 120 points, Alpine on 147, whereas Williams out front on 168. Williams have got Josh Boy sat in P2, but Connor all the way down out the points in 17th, because as the points go in MRC, it's the top 15 that score points from 1st to 15. So at this moment in time, the likes of Fire, Jay, Connor and Maverick won't be scoring any points at this stage, because they are down in 16th, 17th and 18th, which is out the 15 point scoring positions. So Williams would only have one driver scoring points. Alpine...
Oh, what's going on?
Oh, what you seen?
No, it's all right. Nothing at all.
Just
screen more than anything else.
So yeah, still behind safety car, lap 15 of 36. I believe we'll be going green flag at the end of this lap, so GXD will be getting in his head, thinking whereabouts to go on this restart, as he will take command once the safety car comes in. We'll have a little cheeky look at who's made stops. Only 2 drivers at the moment have not pitted yet. We've got Lil in 4th, who hasn't pitted yet. She's still going on those hard tyres that she started on. And we have Abu in 13th, who I believe is also on a set of hard tyres as well, I believe, from the start, unless he's still dragging out a set of mediums. Well, yeah, Abu's still on a set of mediums, so it is he's done well to take those mediums, the laps that he has, as we're about to go green flag. Again, GXD gets the hammer down. Nice tidy restart. Josh Boy not close enough to make any headway into turn 1. Isaac with a tidy restart as well. Same for the two Ferraris. As Delta, oh, that is racy, as Delta's up to P8 and Geke's down to P10. He's lost 2 positions to Delta and Blurred through 1 and 2. So a very punchy start for Delta on this restart. And a few more cars further back changing and swapping as we have a little look at the movers and swappers further back. Maverick and Fire J going side by side through turn 5. We've got a yellow flag at turn 3, which is single track in the Alpine, sorry. So I wonder what's happened to single track. He's currently going again, so we'll just have a little look at the Alpine very quickly. I'm getting my buttons mixed up. There is no front wing on the front of that Alpine, so contact must have been made towards the back. But this first lap of the restart, GXD has already opened up that 1 second buffer, so Josh Boy will not have DRS because he's outside that 1 second window. So he's going to be under pressure from Isaac, who's only 6/10 back. You would think on the Ferrari point of view, because Lil hasn't pitted yet, should probably play the team game and let Brindle through, who is on fresher hard tyres back. But the Ferraris are racing each other. Lil is staying ahead of Brindle. They are dropping back from the front 3 though, due to Lil being on what is, I believe, 17 lap hard tyres. You can see the difference in tyre through there.
Close. Lil, yeah, I think at this point Lil maybe should.
She's got to look at the team. I would, if it were me, I'd definitely let my teammate go, because yes, you want what's best for yourself, but if you look at the team point of view, you've got to try and maximise the team points as well. Yes, we don't get much for the constructor side of things. It's dominantly the drivers that get it, so we're going to stick with the Ferraris, as Brindle has DRS and he's going to go down the inside of Lil into turn 1, so the Ferraris have swapped places. The question is, how much longer is Lil going to go on those hard tyres, because she's got to pit at some point, because she hasn't pitted yet. The same with I believe Abu's pitted now if he's 35 seconds off of his teammate, so that leaves Lil to just pit.
You got to think as well, Lil's tyres, I mean, they're going to have a good 2 to 4 laps where they've not really been pushed because of safety cars. So
yeah, so she's obviously able to nurse those hard tyres out longer than she probably would have with going full race pace. But as the rules, we have to at least use 2 different sets of compounds, so she's going to be stretching those hards out as much as she can to have a benefit of medium tyres for the end. As we have Josh Boy 5/10 off of GXD with DRS, closing speed, but not going to be close enough towards turn 1.
So he's about to take Lil.
Yeah, that's the difference again. Fresher hard tyres on the Aston Martin. Single track 3 seconds. That would have been at the exit of turn 4 and 5. But yeah, Delta already on the back of Brindle now as well. He's got one Ferrari, he's looking at the other. Not close enough.
The tyres are less than half the age of the one ahead, so.
Yeah, Lil is struggling on those hard tyres compared to everyone on fresher ones behind her. She's coming under pressure from Scottish Mav, who's actually on medium tyres. Oh, bit of contact, but no damage done to the Haas, as the Red Bull of GXD looking a bit racy as well. And then you've got Heavy T as well looking at the inside of GTS. But GTS will have the inside again, so the Red Bull stays ahead of the Racing Bull. But I'll give her credit, Lil, 19 lap old hard tyres.
Yeah,
She's staying firm, she's staying strong. As Delta locks up into turn 1 with Brindle just behind. We're just going to jump back to the front. GXD still holding station from Josh Boy. So GXD controlling pace well from the lead. The two front runners are 2.3 seconds from this driver, Isaac, running in third, and it's a further 4 seconds back to Delta in P4, who's just broken the 1 second barrier to Brindle. So Delta's not going to have to worry about anyone behind. He can now focus looking ahead and possibly closing the gap down to Isaac. And as we know, Delta running what can only be described as a higher setup to majority of those that he's been racing around, but he's going to have much fresher hard tyres, as well as he's already bringing that gap down to Isaac. It's 3.8, about 3.9, and he's dropped Brindle by 2 seconds.
Nice little battles, I think.
GTS has just got past Lil.
Heavy's on the way. Oh, Lil's gone round.
Oh, she has. Has she got any damage? Yeah, she's got no front wing on that Ferrari.
That's those tyres. Pushed them maybe just a little bit too far. Literally came out turn 1 there and just see the back end came round.
Probably, as you say, probably asking a little too much of the hard tyres. 21 laps in.
Just been overtaken as well, so probably just a little bit of an extra push into the corner, brakes slightly later than usual.
Yeah.
And that's going to damage it severely now.
It doesn't help that turn 1 into turn 2, that section in between them, it's downhill as well, so you got to be careful with the acceleration, because you got the gravity of going downhill as well as going from left to right, so it's very easy to lose the car there, especially into turn 1 on used tyres, as Josh Boy still unable to make any headway on GXD. So GXD in complete control on lap 22. Isaac's bringing the gap down ever so slightly to the front too, and the gap to Delta has come down from 4 seconds to 2.8, so Delta really pushing to get onto the back of Isaac, using the fresher tyres to his advantage, because he pitted under that second safety car that we had a few laps ago. Whereas the likes of GXD, Josh Boy and Isaac ahead of him pitted under the first safety car, which came out on lap 6, I believe it was. So they've been on the hard tyre since lap 6 and now on 22. Abu 3 seconds, so we've got quite a few drivers now with 3 seconds. But I believe Josh Boy, despite not making any headway on GXD, is probably thinking, as long as I stay and keep GXD in visual perspective, he knows GXD's got that 3 seconds hanging over him, and has had it hanging over him from quite early on in the race, so GXD's got to be very careful.
Yeah, absolutely.
As we'll have a look at the penalties. As I say, GXD on 3 seconds, so's Brindle and Sternberg. Connor's on 3, Blurred Magic on 3, so is Single Track, and so is Abu. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, is
just gone round.
Yeah, we're just seeing him there on the outside in the middle part of the track, which has put Lil back up into 17th.
Yeah,
so I believe
helps a little bit.
Yeah, she's going to be with a brand new front wing and brand new medium tyres, so she can now power on to There's Josh Boys, that's levelled it up. Josh Boys picked up 3 seconds
Oh, no.
right towards the end of the lap, so it is now level pegging. Isaac is in on lap 24, so he's looking at a brand new set. We'll see what the Racing Bull goes on to.
Gotta go medium, surely.
He's going on for hards again, so he's gone for the harder allocation. Sensible from Isaac. As Josh Boy has swooped down the inside of turn 5 on GXD, so that's Josh Boy into the lead. Williams ahead of Alpine. And Isaac now comes out in 9th on those brand new hard tyres. He can now push to the end now on those hard tyres. But with both Josh Boy and GXD, it's firmly in Delta's ballpark, because yes, he's bringing the gap down, but the two just ahead of him have both got 3 seconds, so it's advantage Delta at this stage.
Just needs to, just at worst stick to the back of him now, really.
The gap is... The gap's 2.8, but that's because GXD is getting DRS off of Josh Boy. But
I think Delta's tyres were slightly better than the 2 ahead as well.
Yeah, because he was the... Yeah, they are side by side through turn 4 and through 5 as well. It's side by side up the hill to turn 6.
Still.
Brave stuff from Josh Boy, holding it round the outside. Brilliant racing, fair play.
Maybe just eased off a little bit there.
Isaac has... Isaac's disconnected. And he's on brand new tyres as well. Hopefully he can get back in, but he's going to be losing time hand over fist. But that was great defence from Josh Boy through turns 4, 5 and then 6. Very brave holding it round the outside. But with going side by side through 3 corners, Delta has really caught up to the back of them. The Aston Martin now...
2.9 that was.
Yep. GXD looking very punchy behind the Williams. But Delta's going to be even racier on those fresher hard tyres.
Yeah, he's coming. Fortunate GXD still got the DRS, so it saved him a little bit. But it's,
that's tight through 4. GXD, Delta sweep through.
No hesitation.
Took advantage of GXD being out of shape on the outside of turn 4 and just swoops through the inside and takes 2nd place, and now he's
in provisional pole.
He is net leader with the 3 seconds of Josh Boy, and he is. You can see the difference in tyre wear between them. As I believe Scottish Maverick's just gone down. He's behind Connor now.
We got Isaac back as he stood up.
It's still ghosted that Racing Bull, so Isaac, but he's just got back in, so hopefully he can get back in that car. As he's just about to lose a place to Fire J. The front 2 have pitted, so they've looked at what Isaac's done. And we've got Josh Boy and GXD pitting. And I believe it's a set of medium tyres on Josh Boy. What's GXD gone for? Probably a set of mediums as well. Yep, both of them have gone for a set of mediums for this last stint, so that's released Delta out front.
I don't think Isaac's back in just yet.
Just have a little look on the... Yeah, his car's still good. No, it's solid now. Oh, it is definitely solid! No!
Oh, that's really unfortunate. I just caught back to that.
The question is, was his car still AI as he was getting back in it? That's the question.
Oh, he's glitching everywhere here.
Yeah. As Gekke's retired on track.
Yeah, something's wrong with Isaac's connection, I think, big time. He's just glitched and jumped to 2 corners
So
somehow.
Gecko's retired on track after having an incident with Isaac when I believe he was jumping back in the car. GTS has pitted from what was second, so Heavy T moves into second place. It is looking comfortable for Delta, lap 28 to 36. We're now down to 17 runners from 19. Quite a few cars with penalties, so we're going to have quite a few shifters and changes in the latter stages. But the worst case scenario for all of those on penalties is, I don't want to jinx it or curse it, but a very late safety car, because if you've got any kind of like track limit penalties and you have a very, very late safety car, you are going to drop like a rock because of everyone being bunched up. So the worst case scenario for all those carrying 3 seconds would be a late safety car, but it's looking very, very comfortable for Delta, 7.1 seconds out front.
I think GTS is reserving, right?
Yes.
So at the moment, Isaac could still potentially be on for a podium.
Yeah, and I think in the dry, because we have 2 different rulings for in the dry and in the wet for higher tier drivers. I know you have to pit on the penultimate lap if it's wet. I don't think you have to if it's dry.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I get confused because, like I say, we've got 2 different rulings for higher tier drivers for wet and dry races. But I believe GXD will probably pit on the penultimate lap, like a lot of the higher tier drivers tend to do, whether it's in tier 3 or tier 4. The best example for it is probably Armar, who tends to reserve a lot in the lower tiers, and he always pits on the penultimate lap, regardless of the dry or the wet. So he's very sporting for the lower tier drivers. So have a look for some battles further back. We've got Connor on the back of Fire J, Scottish Mav not far back as well. So this 3-way battle for 9th, 10th and 11th. But Connor and Scottish Mav carrying 3 seconds. As Connor's having a brave move going round the outside of turn 2 for the inside of 3 on Fire J. Doesn't quite pull it off. Connor almost going round the outside of turn 2. Brave stuff from Connor as he's having a look on the inside of Fire J and gets the move done, and Fire J also loses the position to Scottish Mav as well. So Fire J gone from 9th to 11th, but the saving grace is that he hasn't got a track limit penalty, whereas Connor and Scottish Mav have. So as long as Fire J can stay within 3 seconds, Delta's in. And it's soft tyres on the Aston Martin.
Now,
with
where Josh is going to come out in relation to Josh.
I believe 6 laps to go, so 6 laps on the soft tyres. He's got to be very careful because the soft tyres can really burn up here. So Heavy T now leads with Josh Boy second. Delta has come out in third, but he's going to be very, very race on those hard tyres. Sorry, soft tyres.
Heavy T's tyres, although they're the hards, they're quite into their life at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely going to the end on this one. Sometimes you have to think, if you ain't got the pace on the drivers around you, sometimes you got to think outside the box, do something different. Because sometimes a little bit of racecraft can go a very, very long way. So Heavy T leads us on to lap 32. The gap to Josh Boy, 8.8 seconds. So Heavy T's just got to hang on for as long as he can. As Delta, huge lock up into turn 1 for the Aston Martin as we jump to it as he goes through into second place. He's got 7.6 seconds to close down to Heavy T, and on those soft tyres he's going to be taking chunks.
It's not going to take long, is it?
But it was a huge lock up for the Aston Martin into turn 1 when we jumped to him as he was just making the move past Josh Boy.
Oh, Blurred Magic, 3 seconds.
Yeah. GTS and GXD continuing their scrap. GTS the higher tiers. Oh, has GXD made a mistake? Yes, he has. GXD's made a mistake and has dropped now down to 8th. And there was a bit of carbon fibre flying there. I wonder who that's off. Connor's got a wing intact, so is Scottish Mav. So is Fire J. So I wonder who that... Probably just sometimes when you run over a curb, you see like what looks like carbon fibre throw around. Is Delta with a 10.2. He is absolutely flying on those soft tyres.
2 seconds out of that last lap. Out of Heavy.
4 laps to go. And he's got 5.1 seconds to Heavy T. So Heavy T's just got to try and hang on the best he can. And the only problem is he's going to be seeing that Delta just constantly coming down and down and down and down and down.
Yeah, you got to be really careful now as well, because this is where you can feel that pressure, and that's your opportunity now to get that extra track limits that you've been holding off.
Yeah.
Be really careful.
I mean, it's the same for Delta as well, because we don't know how many warnings he's had, so he could probably be on 1, maybe 2. So he's having to be careful himself, because all it takes is 3 warnings and it can really flip a race on its head, because we've had many races in this season, whether it was Tier 3 or Tier 4 when I've been commentating, and a driver's has been racing for the race win and has picked up a 3 seconds very, very late in the race, and it's pretty much sealed the race's fate at the end. So we don't like to see that happen. I know it's part of racing, but it's unfortunate when it happens. But Heavy T doing a very stellar job, doing well on those hard tyres. He's not making any mistakes.
Coming down. Not quite as quick already, so I imagine that the best is already gone out of those.
Yeah, though the performance of the soft tyres doesn't last long at all. Lap 34 or 35, down. So we'll be going on to the penultimate laps very, very soon. Maverick picks up 3 seconds. The field's the pack's very spread out all of a sudden now, as Isaac has disconnected again.
There's a lot of people on track at the moment, probably desperately holding on.
Just trying to get the tyres to the end. The only driver at the moment in DRS is Scottish Mav on Connor. Their gap is 8 tenths. Although Brindle has just overtaken Isaac, who's disconnected again. So Brindle up to P5. We are on the penultimate lap, and the gap out front is 1.4.
It's going to be down to the last lap if he keeps.
It is going to come down to the last lap between Heavy T and Delta.
Let's get on board. Hold on a minute. I'm not going to disclose much, but I just want to look at their batteries and whatnot.
Have a little sneaky peek, are you?
Yeah, it's going to be spicy. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it's just over a second, 1.1 at this stage. It's now under a second. Yeah, it's all going to come down to the last lap. So let's see how good Heavy T's defence is on this last lap.
No, you can be go for it in
you can be aggressive as long as you're fair. 4 tenths. He's already underneath. He's already having a look. DRS open. He's already going around the outside into turn 1. Delta takes the lead as they start the final lap.
He got it stopped.
Bit of a lock up
Yeah.
into turn 1, gets it stopped.
Is this double DRS or is Heavy got it
No,
now?
it's 2 different detection points. So Heavy T will get DRS down towards turn 4, but he's too far back to do anything of it.
I'm looking at the rear of Delta's car here, and yeah.
So Delta made the move when he needed to. GTS is pitted on the penultimate lap onto the final lap, so he's getting out the way of lower tier drivers. He made the move when he needed to, and Delta is now looking to take the race win.
Look at this. Oh no, is it? No, it is too far behind.
Yeah, so we're going to follow Delta as he comes round the final few corners. He's only got 14 and 15 to go. And Delta is going to take the win for himself and Aston Martin. Delta wins in Brazil with Heavy T second, Josh Boy third, Isaac, I believe, is back in the car and he's going to hold on to P4.
Yeah, I think so.
So despite having 2 disconnects, he's done well to hold on to 4th place. So Isaac in the Racing Bull will finish 4th. Brindle will be 5th for Ferrari. Sternberg looks to be taking P6. Connor takes 7th. Scottish Mav P8. GXD 9th. GXD drops down to 10th, so Owen takes 9th now. GXD down to 10th. Maverick will take 11th. Next one across the line will be Fire J on the lead lap. Jacob, ooh, that's a bit. Jacob takes P12. Lil 13th, did an amazing opening stint on those hard tyres, and the last on the lead lap will be GTS and Single Track. And that is it. So we'll run through the provisional order for the Tier 4 Brazilian Grand Prix. I say provisional because buying stewards' inquiries and decisions, things can change from now until the results go out. But it's a great win for Delta. And I would say a great second place for Heavy T as well, because I think he took those hard tyres a very long way, so he's done well to finish second, making those hard
drive of the day, I think, personally.
Yeah, we'll look at how races were throughout that race. Most overtakes has gone to GTS. Cleanest driver was Lil, so well done to her. Driver of the day in the game has gone to Maverick. Fastest lap was GXD, and obviously the race winner was Delta. Here's the provisional order. Delta gets first, Heavy T second, Josh Boy on the podium, and then it's Isaac 4th, Brindle 5th, Sternberg 6th, Connor 7th, Scottish Mav 8th, Owen 9th, GXD rounds out the top 10, then it is Maverick, Fire J, Lil, GTS, Single Track, Blurred Magic, Abu, and then the non-finishers of Geke and Man. There's been a few standout performances. I mean, I'll give Lil credit for taking those hard tyres as long as she did. It was unfortunate that she ended up losing it out of turn 1 into turn 2, but still a very good stint. Same again with Heavy T, with the long second stint and finishing second and staying out of trouble. But Delta showing is a force to be reckoned with in Tier 4.
Yeah, absolutely.
GXD with phenomenal control when he was out front, keeping drivers at bay. So there's quite a few people with standout performances up and down the grid. But I think I'll go with your vote as well and say Heavy T for my driver of the day as well, because he kept clean and he was out of trouble and finished himself in second place in some very solid points.
Yeah, no, good race, good solid race.
So that wraps up tier 4 at Interlagos, Sao Paulo. We'll have one more race left this week, and that is for those that race no assists. Absolutely everything turned off, from traction control, ABS, the whole works. And I believe we'll have the luckiness to see yourself on the track tomorrow, I believe, Steve, because you're one of those that runs no assists.
I am indeed, but unfortunately I'm out of action for some weeks with a dodgy tendon in my finger.
Ooh.
So yeah, unfortunately I'm going to be off track anything between 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how it goes. So I'll be
fingers
out on comms.
Yeah, at least you still can do your comms duties. You can't get out of that one. You don't need your you don't need to use your finger for that.
But no, I should be watching tomorrow.
Yeah.
My teammate gets on and whatnot.
I can confirm who the pairing for Tier 0 will be. You'll have Connor on lead with myself as co, so you'll have to put up with my voice again.
Oh, well, that's alright. I can cope with that.
So yeah, tune in from 7 o'clock for Tier 0. It'll be Connor leading with me alongside him for that one tomorrow, to round off the race week at Brazil before we head off for next week's racing, which will be from Mexico. So we're going upwards through America. We're going from Brazil to Mexico. So that's it from myself and Steve. Keep an eye out for when MRC goes live tomorrow at 7 o'clock for Tier 0. That will be all. Good night.
Good night.